Hi everybody, it is New Year's Eve. It's too soon. Oh my gosh, it is way too soon. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have very much time left to get everything together. I still haven't heard from the board about my review, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing with myself. But tonight I am just chilling, trying to work on a story. Maybe I can get something in before midnight. Fingers crossed. I'm at 1,300 words. I think I could write another maybe 2,000 words before midnight. Challenge accepted. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to send it on beta read, so. But if I don't make it, at least I tried, right? I haven't done a whole lot of reading. I'm currently working on reading The Color Purple. I'm about 60% through it, really enjoying it. So there will be a review for that in the near future. And the other thing I got through was the audiobook of Horrorstor by Grady Hendrix. So I'll talk about Horrorstor first. It was not quite as comical as Grady Hendrix can be, although I think he did do what he does and sort of he has this way of talking about kind of pop culture and getting into the heart of these, like, or at least what I noticed anyway, maybe because I relate to the characters working in these low-level customer service jobs. He really got into the heart of that kind of corporate culture and the way that service workers kind of view their own jobs as if maybe they aspire to better things, but life comes along and kicks the crap out of you, and you kind of end up in this place where you maybe didn't expect to be. And so Horrorstor, if the if the umlauts were pronounced correctly, or something like that. I don't know. I don't speak German, but I know that OR with the dots over it is pronounced like ur, ur, ur. Um, is about this young woman named Amy, and she goes to work. She works for a big box furniture store that's a knockoff of IKEA. It's called Orsk, which I think is supposed to be maybe like Yisk or something, because they have very similar products, similar approaches to the things that they sell. And the I can't remember the name of the person that read the book, but she has this really nice presence, and she gives a different kind of accent to each of the characters, and so they're really she's consistent about it. So each character has kind of a distinctive voice in the way that she presents it. So I really enjoyed the reading as well. And so the story is about this young woman named Amy who, didn't quite finish college, wanted to be a graphic designer, and she ends up working in this furniture store doing some kind of interior design kind of thing. But she's broke, so that's why she goes to work, and she owes rent, but she really doesn't want her job because it's not what she expected to be doing, right? So she goes to work, and there's weird things going around. There's stains on the sofas, and there's weird graffiti, and so her boss pulls her into the break room, and at first she thinks she's going to get fired, but then she sees that the cashier, Ruth Ann, is also there. Now, Ruth Ann is a very dedicated employee, and she's been there like 13 years, and so Amy thinks, well, if Ruth Ann's here, I know they're not going to fire Ruth Ann, so what's going on? So her boss, Basil, who's very much a, company man, says that he wants them to spend the night at the furniture store and see what's going on and why all these weird things are happening. So she agrees, and after her shift, she goes out and takes a nap in her car, and heads back in overnight, and she and Ruth Ann and Basil kind of start, and right away weird things start happening. And then they figure out that two of their other coworkers, a guy named Matt and a girl named Trinity, that name, and the way that each of the characters is drawn is just is so good. They're they're the kind of people that you would meet working in a place like this. Trinity is like this, you know, well-to-do hipster person who has a very cushy life, but she's just trying to be rebellious, but with her weird hair and her very perfectly ripped jeans, but that the jeans cost $200, right? And so they find that these people are at the place, and they snuck back in after the place closed because they want to film a ghost. Trinity thinks the place is haunted, which I can relate to. Now, my sister and I were talking about that the other night. Like, is the ghost gonna dissipate because it feeds on our bickering, or is it gonna hang around and annoy the next tenant? My sister thinks it's gonna hang around and annoy the next tenant, but I don't know. I have a feeling it hates me so much, either it's going to attach itself to me and just come with me, or it's going to dissipate because we're not here to feed it anymore. But it should be interesting. I really wish I could be a fly on the wall when the next person finds all the broken electronics and stuff pushed over when it shouldn't be. But maybe, I don't know. Still could be my imagination. I still don't know. So anyway, so Matt and Trinity start filming stuff, and they, Trinity swears she saw somebody, so they decide to hold a seance, and then things just get weirder and weirder, and it turns out, yeah, the place is, but it's not just haunted, it's overrun, and it gets more and more horrific as the night goes on, and it really puts puts everybody through their test of mettle, and it's a pretty fun ride. I quite enjoyed it. I'm not going to spoil too much. I'm not going to spoil anything else of what happens, but it's definitely worth a read if you like just good solid horror. It starts, you get the characters, and then it just amps up and amps up and amps up. And it's got a pretty satisfying ending. So that was Horrorstor by Grady Hendrix. The next thing I just want to do is just a quick year in review. What I talked about on the channel throughout the year. It's been a pretty good reading year. I think my goal was to read 25 books, and I think I hit the goal. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go through and count. And I also started, I think this was the year that I started my Authors Behaving Badly series, which seems to get quite a few views. All right, so the first, let's see, what did I read this year? I read and reviewed Winter's Bone by Daniel Waddell. And then it was Garbagus 1.5 in February. So as a lead in, I did the dramatic reading of Maga Hat Romance Book 2, Almost a Family by Liberty Adams. And then Palomino by Danielle Steele for Garbagus 1.5, my very first Danielle Steele book. What else did I do? So I got through I, the Jury, but you know what? I don't think I quite finished I, the Jury. I think I got to like 85% or something and stopped. And then I reviewed Kindred by Octavia Butler, and also the series. And then The Whale, I did a comparison of the screenplay versus the movie. I did Transmuted by Eve Harms, and The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias. And then Made of Flesh by Nicholas Francis. And then we got into June on the Range, which I didn't really enjoy because I'm not a, I don't know, Westerns just don't do it for me. I thought I would like it, but not really. But I did read the River of Teeth by Sarah Grady for the Western month in June. And I also read It Will Just Be Us by Joe Kaplan. That one was really enjoyable. And then I got into the lead up to Garbogust, which was where I talked a great deal about Liberty Adams. Hooves of Thunder, Hearts of Silk. To this day, I still wish that that book was somehow published and finished just so I can read it. And I did a dramatic reading of both The Eye of Argon and the MAGA Hat Romance, Book 3, the final one, Justice for Mary Beth by Liberty Adams, including a couple of appearances from Godzilla, because Godzilla makes everything better. And then we got into, Truth or Dare. Oh yes, that was what was the trashiest thing you've ever done? So I'm just looking through my videos throughout the year. So then Garbogust happened. That was Tender Wings of Desire by Colonel Sanders. Late in the Future by Gardner Francis Fox. And then week 2 was Vintage Smut. Week 3 was Novelization, which I read Crossroads. Can't remember what else I read there. Doesn't really matter. And then Paperback Crush and the Stripper Diaries. And also, I think I read the Sweet Valley High book in there somewhere. And then we got into September. So yeah, again, this year's gone pretty quickly. I read Attack of the Killer Tomatoes by Jeff Strand, and The Forbidden Zone by Joshua Millican, A Clockwork Orange, and that started into my vow to read 10 books that have been on my list forever that I already have, and I'm kind of working slowly through those. I read Burnt Offerings by Robert Marasco, and then Deadly Friend by Diana Henstall, Along the River of Flesh, and Heart of Darkness. And then This Is Where We Talk Things Out by Caitlin Marceau. 2 books by Wendy Dalrymple, and then the Creature Feature books. And then my last one was another Authors Behaving Badly. I didn't realize I'd done so many authors behaving badly. The authors I reviewed that were behaving badly were Kate Corain, Matt Shaw and David A. Riley, what's her name? Corey Richins? Yeah, Corey Richins, and Felina Hopkins and Cockygate, I think, were all of the authors behaving badly. Yeah, and that was it. So, not a terrible year, but, I guess next year, I don't know what 2024 is going to hold. I mean, this is going to be the start of a homeless arc. There's going to be a lot more ukulele playing. There's going to be a lot more, I guess, videos shot in my van. I mean, unless something comes up soon, I really don't know what I'm going to do. But I don't know. Maybe I can look at this as an opportunity. Maybe I'll find something better. Maybe things will look up. Maybe I'll win a lottery. Unlikely, but you never know, right? All right. So I think that I've rambled for long enough. 2023 has not been a great year. I mean, I lost my job at 22 years. I lost my home of 11 years. And I don't know what the future holds. It's looking pretty uncertain right now. But And also my health hasn't been great on top of everything else. So I hope the next few months at least will stabilize a little bit, and I'll be able to either find something or something will change soon and things will look up. But, wish me well. I wish all of you well. Wish all of you good health and happiness and luck in the new year. Hope you're reading lots of great horror. Have a great day and Happy New Year, everybody.